Hi, this is Takashi from Jazz Love Japan. Today, I want to talk about the master tapes of Japanese jazz reissues. I know, I'm sure that many of you guys are very interested in this topic, right? And first I want to say that there is little information available, really, especially the 70s, 80s, even up to the 90s, jazz reissues here in Japan. There is no information available. I should say so. But maybe it'll be interesting to you guys, Almost all jazz records reissued here in Japan, the companies like, Blue Note, Toshiba EMI, King Record, and even Disc Union, and all those, music companies here in Japan, they didn't use the original master tape. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, let's talk about the Blue Note reissues. Back in the 70s, back in the 60s, Toshiba EMI at that time, they were really trying hard to negotiate with the Blue Note. At that time, I think, Liberty, to reissue the titles in Japan, but they were not allowed. I don't know the reason why, but it is sad that they were not allowed to reissue the Blue Note titles here in Japan in the 60s. And what they did is that they negotiated with them to import the Blue Note titles, to bring them here in Japan and sell them here in Japan. That's what they did. So that's why I talked about this issue, in the past, that you can see sometimes the Blue Note US pressings, like Blue White Label, Blue Note Liberty, copies with the Toshiba EMI Japanese, the sticker obi sometimes, and the Japanese insert inside the sleeve. Yeah, and that continued until the middle of 70s, and finally they were, I think, able to get a license to reissue the titles of Blue Note here in Japan, I think in the late 60s. But at that time they were only able to reissue some of the tracks on EPs, small donut EPs. Yeah, that's what they did in the late 60s. And then when it came to the 70s, early 70s, 1970 or 71, they were now able to get a license to reissue the Blue Note titles with the series called NR series. I have a sample here, one. Yeah, this is the, one of the samples here. This is Sonny Rollins Volume 2, right? And it has the obi. The obi is, NR8841. Yeah. So this is one of the NR series in the early 70s. But the fact is that the sound quality, the pressing quality is just fantastic, and everything is perfect to me. Even the sleeve condition, the paper that they used, and the vinyl that they used, and the finishing, everything, I think to me is perfect. But there is only one downside: sound quality. The sound quality of this NR series is not that good. It's not that, the entire sound is not that clear, sharp, or brighter. And the reason why is because of the master tape that they used at that time with the NR series. And some of the jazz collectors here in Japan, I saw them talking about this issue, saying that the master tape the Toshiba EMI at that time got is, of course, not the original, but even worse, maybe third or fourth generation copy from the master tape. So that's the only master tape that, the tape to cut to press, these titles in the series. Just like that, So the quality of the master tape, of course, in the first place, is not that good, You can just imagine like third or fourth generation photocopy of the, the original copy of the papers, right? So that's the fact, Yeah, I can understand during that time in the 70s, 80s, because of the geological, disadvantage or some kind of risk for the Blue Note or Liberty at that time to ship the original tape to the Toshiba EMI in Japan and back and forth. Something like that can be, in terms of the security, it's difficult, I know, but at least they could have given us, the Toshiba EMI at that time, the first generation copy from the master. And then now, Toshiba EMI, from the NR series, they released a series called LNJ, as you know, in the mid-70s. But when it comes to LNJ series, the sound quality, the pressing quality is the same, the top, very good, as you know. And the sound quality drastically improved, really, really. And, to me, the titles like, Something Else and Eric Dolphy Out to Lunch, I think LNJ series is the best, to me. This is my personal opinion, by the way. But, overall condition, the sound quality of LNJ drastically improved to compare to the NR series. So what happened? It is obvious that, the master tape that they got from the US is different. That's a fact. I don't know what kind of master tape that they got at that time for the LNJ series, but it is obvious that the master taping is the quality of the master taping is improved, really. But of course, even if so, they didn't use the original master tape, that's for sure. And it is funny, and this is my personal opinion as well. It is funny that during the same time in the 70s, while they were reissuing the Blue Note titles with the LNJ series here in Japan, they stopped importing the US pressings from the Liberty. Until I think, 76, 77, around that time, just before Toshiba EMI gave up the license to King Record. They stopped importing the US pressings from the US. So I thought maybe because the sound quality drastically improved with LNJ, I think they there was no reason for them to import the US pressings. And I know during that time in early 70s with the NR series, the engineers or the staff involved in reissuing Blue Note titles at that time, I'm sure they didn't like the sound quality. That's for sure. That's why I think Toshiba EMI, they were importing the US pressings to please the Japanese audience. As you know, Japanese audience is very, very selective, and they know the sound quality, how it sounds. So that's what I'm thinking. And okay, the King Record, right? So the King Record took the license, from the Toshiba EMI. and they started reissuing the Blue Note titles with GXF, GXK, and the rest, as you know. And I think even with the King Record era, they didn't use the original master tape, but the sound quality, as you know, very good. Yeah, of course, the pressing quality and the sleep quality, yeah, the superb quality. And the difference between the Toshiba EMI and the King Record, to me, is that, King Record, I think the engineer at that time to cut those titles, they were thinking about the RBG sound, They just tried to imitate or they restore the RBG sound. That's why the sound is very dynamic. Yeah, that's what I think, And the Toshiba EMI during the 70s, especially the LNJ series, I think, they just tried to, make it flat. The balancing is flat and the sound quality overall, the balancing, I think is flat. Yeah, that's good as well. That's just a personal, liking or, how you take it. Yeah, both are, I think, good. Yeah, and sometimes, Japanese collectors also they with some of the titles with the King Record reissues, they say, the sound is too noisy or something like that. But to me, both are okay. Yeah. So that's the King Record era. And then back to the Toshiba EMI in the 90s, right? And the BLP BST in the early 90s reissue series, the sound quality again is improved, really, really improved. But still, they didn't use the original master tape. Yes, they didn't use the original. What kind of master tape? I don't know. I really don't know because there is no information available. But it is the fact. It is true that the sound quality again is improved. I think it's down in terms of the clarity. The sound is much sharper or brighter. Yeah, to compare to the LNJ in the 70s, even to the King Record era. That's for sure. I don't know. The cutting machine that they used is, improved. But it is obvious that the engineers, who cut those titles in the early 90s for the Toshiba EMI at Toyokase, they know, the jazz, right? So they just, try to bring back the liveness of RBG sound. That's for sure. Yeah. So, and now the disc union, right? So disc union, I was a little bit, shocked to know that Kevin Gray didn't use the original mono analog master tape to cut those, Blue Note premium reissues by the disc union in 2010, 11, 12, up to 13, I think. Yeah, I was shocked to know the truth. And to me, it is funny, really funny, up to now. The reason why is because, I understand, because of the geological, disadvantage for the Japanese companies to get the original tape from the US and cut and press here in Japan, there is a risk, right? But what happens to the disc union Blue Note premium reissues? Why, Universal Music in the US did not give Kevin Gray the original master tape to cut those amazing, reissues? I just don't know why. And I'm sure that the disc union did not want the digital source. Of course, they know the Japanese audience. Yeah, they know what they want, right? But why? Why Universal Music at that time or EMI Music in the US did not want to give the original mono master tape to Kevin Gray to cut those titles. I just don't know why. So I think, there is a bias, really. Yeah, there is a bias towards the Japanese companies. I don't know. I don't know why. But there should be a bias. Yeah. Because if you look at the classic records, analog production, even now, Tone Poet series, they use the original source, analog source, right? But anyway, this is my personal opinion. But it is sad to know that, really. But still, I just want to finish this conversation with saying that Japanese companies, even the Victor and the rest of the music companies that reissued the great jazz titles in the past, I think even if they didn't use the original master tape, those sound engineers at that time, they did try their best, really, because they know the jazz. Yeah, they know the jazz. So I still want to salute those people who are involved in reissuing those great jazz titles in the past, starting from the 60s, 70s up to the 90s, even 2000, up to now. Really appreciate it and salute them, really. Yeah, because we are enjoying, some of the titles, even the Blue Note titles, originals and early pressings are really hard to come by, right? Even the Prestige, Riverside, and even minor titles or minor labels. But here in Japan, they are there. Yeah, the reissues are there, really. Yeah, fantastic. And I respect them, really. Okay, that's it for today. This is kind of a controversial conversation, I know. But this is my real feeling about the master tapes of jazz reissues here in Japan. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.